okay now.
Once again, you have improved the whole display.
How are you? Todd and Erin morning stream, getpartdaily.com. We are actually doing the show again. This will be part 2.
Version 2.
Take 2.
We'd like to tell you we'd be better this time because we'd had practice, but you already know that's not going to be like that.
I'd like to take responsibility. Not sure if you can see the plug. I kicked it. Okay, so that's where we're going to go with. My fault, my bad, sorry. Morning cam, let's do it.
All right, morning mountain cam. Of course, it is brought to you by Brio Technologies, full service lighting, sound, audio, video solution. It looks really pretty today. And it's nice. We're going to have like sun all week long. So,
it's going to be beautiful.
Well, this is where I realized I've turned into a guy. Because I was looking at the weather and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to have to mow the lawn again before I put the mower away for the winter. And I just went, no normal woman thinks that way.
Well, this will be interesting in bed tonight, other than now that you're a man.
But now that I took over the yard work, it's kind of like, I have to think like a guy.
Would you like to explain why you took over the yard work?
Because I like to mow and you like to taunt me and make the neighbors freak out. So it works out perfectly for everyone.
I just pointed places. You missed over there.
No, but seriously, anyone who mows the lawn, you know that there is a pleasing finish, right? There's a beginning, there's an end, there's a satisfactory resolution.
She likes straight lines.
It's a thing you can control. It's a very nice thing.
Now, before we go into the 4-story tease thing here, the sentence of the day, the motto of the day, the saying of the day, comes from Daisy this morning. Chaps with asses are simply trousers. Where does it come from? We don't know. Things like that just materialize.
It sounded better when she said it.
It does sound better when she says it.
It might have been the accent, but...
It really does. All right, stories coming up. What do we have?
Okay, first of all, spooky spots along the Wasatch Front. We're going to be showing you something new every day. Yesterday, I cannot believe you had never seen this before.
We took an adventure. Check this out.
It was very exciting.
All right, there we are.
The mysterious foothills.
This is only like 100 yards. No, probably about 1,000 yards.
It's about a quarter mile. It's not very much.
It's nothing. And it's up there, and it's a piece of history, and it's a structure. And you can see here walking up the trail. Now, I'll give you a clue. That is tailings from a limestone situation. No, don't show it. Don't do the reveal. Don't hide it. We're going to do it later. You can see the whole thing. But it's a place you can go, and it's got some cool history to it. And actually learn some more that I can bore you with later. And I'll do that.
Yes, you will. Gordon Hayward's pretty much screwed. Our former jazz player is, we'll tell you why, but the man is basically essentially screwed.
Most important thing anybody can ever tell you this week, because the temperature is going to be up in like 67, 70, how to preserve your pumpkin.
That wasn't my first thought,
I
but that's
have
good.
the secret.
And Salt Lake, they did the national list of like the rudest cities in the nation.
Yes, they did.
And I am sure that Salt Lake City will not be on there because we are a friendly people.
Oh,
we may be a peculiar people, but we're friendly. Peculiar. We're peculiarly friendly.
You're going to be
friendly in our peculiarity.
Surprised.
I don't accept that. Okay,
Let's
first.
Go. Over the weekend, 5 presidents standing on stage at the same time. Was
that random or what?
That was just, I was amazed by it. We're even missing one here. His dad, Bush's dad, is sitting down.
Well, you know what? Even George Sr. looked pretty good on camera, all things considered, because he's had a lot of health problems this year. But, I mean, you were right. They did a great benefit concert. Lady Gaga was there, a bunch of big stars, and they raised $35 million in one sweep. I think it was like maybe 5 or 6 hours, and you can still contribute, as a matter of fact. So this all goes to hurricane relief, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. Number one, I don't think we've ever had that many presidents live that long, because let's be honest, it's a job that's meant to kill you. If I had to lie awake all night, listening to nuclear codes, I would never sleep again. But
life expectancy is longer. So that has something to do with it. Healthcare is better. Well, for them, because they get government healthcare. We don't. And they raised money for Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands and Florida and Texas.
And it was wonderful. I mean, it was, and you're right, you were mentioning that they all kind of looked cooler. Obama, I've always thought, had the cool factor.
Like,
even as a president, he's like, I had the Ray-Bans on, I was cool.
Yeah, they want to take their ties off. So
chill out a little.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. And I think it was all online.
That just
I don't
amazes
think
me.
it was on network. I think it was.
But you know
I
what?
could be wrong.
Bush Sr. is 93 years old, and he still busted it out for the event. I mean,
did.
that to me is pretty darn cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So, I don't know. It was interesting to see. Okay, Gordon Hayward being screwed.
Before you do that, BYU, we are so sorry. And we're not making fun, and we're not doing anything, because I know you live and breathe it, and to watch 6 losses in a row,
Brutal losses.
there's nothing we can say, because it's that,
You obviously know we're Ute fans, and it's not like the U had such a great weekend ever. I can't believe we lost 30-10. But when it comes to something like this, though, everybody's in. It's like, oh, that sucks, because it's so unfair to you. And
We're sorry.
The poor coach. He was just kind of like.
They're actually.
And then he said the awful thing about, well, now the seniors won't be able to live their dream of going to a bowl game, and it was like. You could hear hearts shatter like glass all across the state.
KSL is the Cougar station, and they're actually doing a special on the losing streak.
That's inspiring.
And I am not kidding you. So anyway, our hearts go out.
We're very sorry.
Seriously. Now, over to Haywood.
Okay, Gordon Hayward. Obviously, we are very sad when he left the Jazz. He went to the Celtics.
Right.
He was building up and building up and building up and doing all the visualizing stuff and all the stuff pro athletes do. 6 minutes into the game, it's like his foot is backwards. Now, so we've all been waiting basically to hear what the doctors have had to say, and he's had 4 surgeries now.
Now, before you do this, I would like to show you what they're trying. Well, we couldn't use the photo, and you didn't want to see it anyway.
Sports copyrights are never fun. Yeah, but perhaps you could explain the process again with the whiteboard.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Here is an ankle bone. Here is the tibia flibia bacadlacahada. Okay? And this is where the heel would be on the foot, and there are some toes. Okay. So basically, here's the actual leg. Here we have some hair. All right, so and there's some bones coming down here with some hair on the toes. All right, so basically what happened is break right there. They had a break. And then the ankle, let's see, how do I change this to make it realistic? I know. The ankle and the foot is up here now.
Askew.
And that's a
It's
problem.
askew. It might be a medical thing.
So this is a problem. And then there's ligaments holding everything together.
Or they were.
And so they went in, they sewed some of those on, they took his foot and... Now, at this point, you're saying, that must be uncomfortable. And so, coming into play is the hospital faces. And when I was in the hospital, they would come in and they say, how do you feel? And opposed to you trying to express in your own words what it was, they would say, are you number 1? And he would say, no. And then it got a little bit worse where he just kind of, hey. And they say, are you that way? Are you number 2? He said, no. And then over here, we have a very troubled look. And they said, are you this face? And he said, no. And there was only one choice left, and that was, tongue hanging out, fire coming off the thing, little explosion on the tongue because it hurt so bad. Remember, I'm not a doctor.
No, I'm pretty sure no one is confused by that, sweetie.
Right.
At all.
So
ever.
basically, that's the situation. They're talking 6 to a year. 6 months to a year.
Oh.
And
yeah.
They're also saying that he might not get it all back. And then they said on top of that, but because of his skill level, he might be able to compensate for some of that.
Really? I hope so. That is just brutal. So basically, it's a whole year out, kind of just holding your breath and hoping everything works out.
Yep.
So we're here.
We're sorry.
We love you. And
Amazon has made people crazy.
now, Amazon.com, I mean, we've talked about this, but think about the implications of this. The most massive thing in the world wants to make a second headquarters.
Right.
So they would build somewhere, which means there would be 50,000 jobs, many of them available to us. It would mean that you probably could order something from Amazon.com and it would be at your door before you pushed send.
Actually, when you push send, what you'll hear is footsteps of somebody running to your house, and And you go, hi, oh, here's my package, thanks, and then they run off.
So they had specific things that they wanted. For instance, and I don't know if I've ever heard this before. They said, we want a really strong outdoor culture where there's a lot of recreation and sport availability.
We have that.
And we're awesome at that.
Right, and they also want a city.
Well-educated workforce, good attitude. They wanted not too big, but not too little.
Yeah, what are we, 2 million? They wanted a place that when the city went under siege, that it would be okay. And there was housing, and there'd be availability of places to live, because they're talking 50,000 people now. Some of those people will be employed from here, and other people will be flying in and finding a new place. So this has sparked... we talked about it
there was
last
a frenzy,
week.
and people had done some really cute things, like doing gigantic Amazon.com boxes.
Hey! Stop that.
Well, we already talked about that one. You're not going to talk about it again.
Okay.
But obviously the tax incentives are the big kahuna. That's what everybody,
All right, New
what
Jersey.
they're waiting for.
New Jersey. They sat around a table and they came up with the ace in the hole. They came up with a $7 billion tax incentive. That's Chris Christie.
That's a fairly aggressive tax incentive. But once again, where are the recreational opportunities in New Jersey?
Good point. Dallas, $15 billion.
For a bullet train.
With a bullet train.
So
with a bullet. I
would
like
that be
that.
because they would set them off in a more isolated area, but then they would bulletize everybody out there? And
Bulletize. Nicely done.
thank you.
Yes, they connect different cities. Ohio wants to do the same thing with Columbia, St. Louis, and Kansas City. And so let's once again weigh this. We have New Jersey with a $7 billion tax incentive, and then we have bullet train. $15 billion bullet train.
Bullet trains are cool.
They are cool. We don't have them in the United States.
It was interesting, though, that Salt Lake City, it was definitely, they said we were on the inside list. I guess they...
I never heard that.
Yeah, that we were like in the top 3 or 4.
Right.
But they already stood up. I mean, Val Hale, who's commerce for Governor Herbert, said, we told them we were awesome, and we gave them a report about how livable it is here. And,
Right.
And he says, we're not inclined to give them a ton of tax incentives. So it's like, we were like the more laid-back approach. There wasn't like a lot of ankle licking going on.
Maybe we could just speed up tracks, put some rockets on it. Like the Coyote with the Roadrunner. Go to the Acme Rocket Booster Company. Just make that thing scream. You have to jump on as it goes by.
Hold on, I'm engaging the nitro. Oh my God.
Put some night. That's it. You just put some wings on it. Make that thing go. Anyway.
Who are you?
It's just a great idea,
Who
isn't
did
it?
I marry?
You're thinking, that guy's got nothing. Nothing up there. Okay, stop it. Rude.
Oh, I love you so
Let's
much.
talk about rude.
You were the weirdest person ever, but I love you.
That's one of my charms.
This explains so much about our 6-year-old.
Let's talk about rudeness, shall we? If you will.
Oh, please, won't you? I would love to hear.
Cincinnati is number 18 out of all the cities. 18th.
For the
Been in
rudest city in the
Cincinnati?
nation?
I've never been
No,
to
but Patrick,
Cincinnati.
our news director and boss, is
He's
from there.
there.
And I could totally see that based on Patrick. That really
Right,
doesn't
their
surprise
behavior
me at
in
all.
Chicago. You
Now,
love Chicago.
that's not fair, because Chicago is not rude. Chicago is brash, and there is a difference. When we
Like
were
New
there...
York?
Well, yeah, but we were
Okay.
there, and there's horns honking like crazy, and I'm like,
She was in
these are
heaven.
my people. I mean, we even went on one of the tourism boats that kind of goes through the
that was
beautiful,
cool.
the river and everything.
Architecture.
And they got in a fight with one of the private boat owners, and they're like, take your expensive yacht and get out of here. And we're like, yeah. So that's not rude, that's brash.
Detroit, every reason to be angry. Every reason. And they held it down to number 11,
Look,
which I am proud.
We consider that an accomplishment, because, you
Really
really have an
is.
excuse. We got to be honest.
All right. I want you to tell me, everyone think about this, the most laid back, relaxed, sandal wearing, flannel wearing.
Like Seattle or Portland?
Portland.
No.
Should Portland be on the rude list?
No.
Number 13.
They're like coffee and hemp. There's
Evidently-
nothing rude about Portland.
First of all, it must be like angry hemp.
I guess.
And their coffee must be decaf.
That would explain so much.
Where do you think Salt Lake is?
I don't think we could have been in the top 50.
Yes, we are. Are we in the top 20? Yeah, we are.
We're not in the top 10.
Top 10.
We are not ruder than Portland. I mean, Detroit. We're not ruder than Detroit.
We're 6th. Screw you.
But we're nice.
All the other reports come out saying we're a great place to live.
I know that we have great smiles.
Yeah.
And fastest growing business thing, and all of a sudden we're rude.
I just don't
Who
think
did
they
you
were
talk
here.
to, people?
They weren't here on a good day.
That just seems so random and
It
so
does. It
unlike
really
us.
does. Let's get some
We're
information.
adorable. We are adorable people here.
We got really fast trains. Let's get some information.
All right, Daisy's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom, and she is brought to you by UtahCreditApproval.com. Bad things happen to good people, but there's no reason you can't fix your credit and get a great automobile. UtahCreditApproval.com, 801-921-9819. Also by Columbus Travel. If you go to ColumbusVacations.com, they have a spectacular weekly newsletter. They can get you, for instance, like airfare in a hotel for cheaper than airfare. It's amazing. And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Something is going to break and go horribly wrong in your house, and fortunately, John is there with 24-hour service, and he can leap into action. AllUtahPlumbing.com. Good morning, Daisy, my dear. What is going on?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Hello again, everyone. Here's what's making headlines Monday, October 23rd on GepHardtDaily.com. Unified Police have identified the 20-year-old man who was shot and killed outside the speed skating oval in Kearns Saturday night. Police say Joshua Balan was found dead at about 11:20 p.m. in the parking lot of the former Olympic facility at 5662 Cougar Lane. Exactly who shot him remains a mystery. A second man was shot in Kearns Saturday night about the same time. He was taken by private vehicle to an area hospital where he remains in critical condition. Police have yet to determine if the two shootings were related. A West Jordan woman accused of murdering her 13-day-old infant has been arrested in Georgia. 26-year-old Marie Sullivan was taken into custody Sunday afternoon while seeking undisclosed medical attention at a Georgia hospital. Hospital personnel became aware she was wanted and notified police. She's now expected to be extradited back to Utah. Sullivan and her boyfriend, 21-year-old Dylan Kitzmiller, are accused of intentionally inflicting grave physical harm on the child, who was born in early September. The couple now face first-degree homicide and child abuse charges. And two suspects are in custody after crashing a stolen car in the front yard of a West Jordan home Sunday morning. Police tell Gephardt Daily the two suspects, 34-year-old Tonga Coley and 31-year-old Crystal Fisher, were leading police on a high-speed chase about 10:30 a.m. after being spotted in the stolen vehicle when Fisher lost control of the SUV and slammed into a rock a few yards from a family's front door. Fisher took off running but was later captured hiding behind a truck near a home at 7450 West, 7450 South, 3200 West. Coley was arrested at the crash site. Investigators say Fisher was dropping items as she ran from police. They also say a holster was found, but it's not known whether the two had a gun. And now let's take a look at the Wasatch Front weather, brought to you on this day by our glorious new sponsor at Brio Technologies. Expect relatively mild temperatures for the next few days, with highs in the mid-60s to lower 70s. Nighttime lows will be in the mid to upper 40s, and the chance of rain is just about zero. That's all for now. For more headlines 24/7, go to GepHardtDaily.com. And for now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
Columbus Travel doesn't want you to be fooled by those nice warm temperatures because they're not going to last. Plus the fact, if you book a cruise, guess what? You're booking it ahead of time. That means, it's coming up. When the cold weather's here, you're going on a cruise. A lot of people always want to know about Columbus Travel. And they say, well, but everyone buys everything online. But there's a reason. There's a reason to go to Columbus Travel. And that's because they have all the connections. Go and look online. See the videos, see the hotels, whatever, and then go to Columbus Travel. They have an all-expense-paid vacation to Mexico right now, which includes the taxi to the hotel, a beautiful hotel, free, the food, you've paid for it already.
Drinks, activities.
Everything. And then by the time you didn't even have to touch your wallet. And that's how cool is that. Plus, you could have a mojito on the beach like this, and then maybe be like that, but you should wear a shirt.
And with friends, he seems very lonely.
He does.
Yeah.
And this is a great place to meet friends. Look at that.
It's a beautiful
If you
beach.
want to get more information on how to save on your next vacation, just give them a call or go to ColumbusVacations.com.
All right, are you ready for a Tell Me Something Good?
Wait. Yes, I am.
It's a good one.
Right.
All right, and this is one of our favorite things. When there is a disaster and there is something horrible, and we all grit our teeth because we know that coming out of this is where we see the really beautiful stories. The stories about the people who are heroes. The people that ran towards danger, the people that risked their lives for others. Now, but this one really stood out to me. This is from the shooting in Las Vegas. Jacqueline Trujillo, 17-year-old Army private. 17 years old.
Was he just in Vegas
No,
hanging?
Jacqueline, she's a girl.
I'm sorry.
She was attending the Route 91 Harvest Festival. She was celebrating her return home from basic training. She said it was like a dream come true. I'd been waiting for it.
Very cool.
And then the bullets started raining, and they said, oh, it's fireworks or the speakers. And she, of course, is trained. She went, no, that's live fire.
And this is only for her first training.
Yeah, exactly.
She's just barely in.
Yeah,
Okay.
barely finished it. She said it was being in a war zone, so she got everyone around her down, and she was showing them how to low crawl, and because people were trying to run, and they were bumping into each other, knocking them. She goes, "Do this."
Right.
So she got everybody behind a couple of different barriers. She found a wall, and Tammy Dean was one of the people who had been injured pretty badly.
Right.
And she dragged her behind the wall, basically ducking bullets to drag her behind the wall, and
Saving
she
her life.
got her arm wrapped so that she wouldn't bleed out. But they had a chance to be reunited over video chat because Tammy's still in the hospital. But
Oh, that's cool.
this weekend they got to reunite over the talking to each other, and they both instantly started crying, which is like the go-to female thing where we all bawl our eyes out together. But it was such an incredible thing, and Tammy said, I have waited every day since that moment to be able to tell her thank you for saving my life.
Good stuff.
And look how adorable she is. She's 17 years old, and she just went into it.
Kicking butt. That's
Saved
what she's
everybody's
doing.
life.
Very cool.
So gorgeous. It's just wonderful to hear these stories. It makes me redeem my faith completely in humankind. And I think we need a lot of that these days.
Got a message back this weekend from some of our listeners and viewers, like you, who went to Christopher's. We're doing the giveaway to say thank you for...
They carefully took pictures of each delicious plate of steak and assorted
Sent it
sides
to us.
make sure that we could see the lusciousness of everything.
and then we
they
thought,
ate.
oh, it's over, and then all of a sudden, dessert pictures.
The cheesecake looked
But
wonderful.
we want you to go, and you and 3 people, and go to Christopher's. It's elegant, but it's not snobby. I like to say that because it is. The food is unbelievable. Linen tablecloths. I mean, that's nice. But
It's exquisite.
People are really nice. How do they enter?
But back to the food, it's glorious. All you have to do is just drop a comment on today's show. You're watching us most likely on Gephardt Daily Facebook's page, or Gephardt Approved, or on the Todd and Erin Facebook page. Hi, guys. Just drop a comment, Christopher's hi, whatever. I'll know that you were watching, and you're automatically entered. At the end of the week, we draw a winner, and it's probably you because it's a low effort contest.
There you go.
Because we're too lazy to make it complicated.
Coming up, stuff you can get for free, speaking of that. Plus,
Ooh,
I know
nice.
the big question in the morning, how do I preserve my pumpkin?
That's the big question.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Okay. The Todd and Erin morning stream is brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Bad things happen to good people, but repair your credit and find the car you want at Utah Credit Approval. Just call 801-404-7201. Also by Columbus Travel. Sign up for their weekly newsletter today for some screamingly good last-minute travel deals. You can do that at columbusvacations.com. And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. This is the perfect time to check out your heating system and make sure that you're ready for the cold winter months ahead. Go to allutahplumbing.com, and don't forget 24-hour service.
So Jeff, you do mortgages, right?
I do.
How do you do?
Well, you go to our website, 4minutemortgage.com, fill out the application. We'll call you within 1 business day. The whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
We went to the bank
They got really personal.
and went through all of our personal records and all of our finances.
And then there was that little deal about the $8,000 closing costs.
Took like 4 months.
That's funny. That's funny.
All right, so by the way, thank you, Nancy. Nancy likes my haircut.
I think your hair looks really good, too.
Yeah, I got it down in great clips. I was going to say all $1.
They don't do that there.
It's like you could actually walk in the front door and they'll cut your hair before you get to the back door and out you go. Stop at the register. And then,
That's probably helpful. You look very nice. You look very handsome.
all right. Well, thank you. I wanted to get you something free.
Everybody likes free.
Everyone likes free.
Yes.
I've done some of these. So let's start off with firewood. Okay, let's say you're going camping. You want some fire. Or you have a backyard. How do you get free firewood? Well, and I've done this one. You got a tree service that's in your neighborhood, and they're cutting the trees down. And if you see, they burn the bushes part, but the big logs, they can't. So they're going to take those and dump those off. I've actually gone to them and saying, listen, if you just leave it piled up here, I'll come and get it, or I'll put it in the truck right now. And the only problem is you have to let it season over a year and then you get it. But it's free.
I know.
I think that's a good idea.
It is a good one.
Going to concerts and events for free.
Oh, this is a good one. This is how all of my girlfriends get into Comic-Con for free. It's Sally Comic-Con is because they volunteer, which is always fun because who doesn't like to herd crowds of people dressed up as, all of the cast of the Avengers.
That's what
Everybody does.
tasers are for.
Or concerts. If you volunteer, you get in free.
But aren't you kind of distracted by, the concert's going on over there, and you're like, hey, don't
Well, maybe
push.
you're one of those people who's like selling popcorn before the concert.
And you just kind of edge yourself in a position where you can see everything happening.
Yeah, because there's a camaraderie then, and everyone's like, "No, get up,
All right.
get up closer. You're
But
okay."
little tiny things like and Zoe's like this. I got really tired of making mazes that she has to find with her pencil all the way through it because after a while it's a blur. You can go online and get them for free along with puzzles and stuff like that. Different than it used to
And
be.
also, you don't have to store all this crap in your house.
Oh, that's a good point.
See, it's all just neatly tidied up for you online.
Here's one for the gardeners.
Yes.
In the springtime, and Red Butte does this, but the other clubs and stuff, and the urban farmers that do plant swaps. So you start your own from seed, and then you take them down, and then you trade someone else who started some zucchini, and you give them tomatoes and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Toys, and I had forgotten about this.
Well, think about how fast you wear through toys. I mean, like Zoe's Star Lily that cost
$100.
$140
She played with it.
for about 3 seconds. And then she lost the magical strawberry that makes it explode or whatever it does. And then there was no more interest.
Yeah.
So, we all know
Library.
they're going to go away. There's toy libraries now.
In the library, there's toys.
Well, there's actual toy libraries as well.
It's crazy.
And you can borrow them, you can take them out, and you can take them home, you can swap them around
What
and
a
bring them back.
great idea.
Isn't that genius?
And they come with batteries. So you don't have
Which
to
is-
take them out of the smoke detector. Like bad people do.
That's not autobiographical at all.
Not us. That wouldn't be us.
Fine.
McDonald's is hurting people's eyes.
Now explain this. Why did this turn into like a weird thing? This is one of those weird eye puzzles where you're supposed to look at it and it's supposed to...
Yeah, you're supposed to look at it, and you look at it and just stare at it. And you do this, and suddenly you'll see the secret message.
It's a secret message from their optical illusion ad. Tag a mate who should
There it
read
is.
between the lines.
Let's all try it. Just stare at it.
Okay.
I'm staring at it. I'm staring at
Bring
it.
McNuggets.
Oh, I can see it.
Oh.
I wonder if it works on
Is
people's
that anything else weirder?
phones right now. Can
Another
they
way to
it?
see it is that you kind of move to the side and
Oh,
you
I
look at
see
an
it.
angle.
I see it now.
Yeah, it's quite clear.
It works on the screen. That's
here's
weird.
Here's the funny thing, though, because people started saying retinal damage, and there was another one of the animated SpongeBob character with the bleeding eyes. But
Right.
people started complaining about that it was hurting, that there was like hurting their eyes, and they were getting headaches, and they were miserable, and so there was like this really resounding boo, and I'm like, that's pretty simple.
Okay,
it just
first
says
of all,
bring McNuggets.
if you're eating McNuggets, don't be worrying about your eyes. Worry about your body and your stomach. And I think it's kind of weird, the secret message, and it says bring nuggets. It's like on the Christmas Story where
McNuggets are delicious.
it's like on the Christmas Story when it says drink your Ovaltine. So disappointing.
I can't help but feel that McDonald's was a wise choice. McNuggets are delicious. You can say what you want, but it's true.
Okay, all right.
Fine. I'm just saying.
It is now
All right.
time
Are you ready?
for the highlight of the show.
You're so excited.
First of all, think about the temperatures this week. High 60s.
And a lot of people cannot wait to carve their pumpkin. You get the pumpkin, you carve it. That's just the way it is. So by Halloween, you have this pathetic little wizened, croned kind of thing, which really isn't as cute.
I'm gonna move this stuff over here. All right, so there's your pumpkin. Would you have me hold the pumpkin?
It's like a little
just
pumpkin
that.
snowman.
Okay, there's your pumpkin. And I'm going to show you preserve your pumpkin. All right, here we go. Number 1, clean your pumpkin. after you carve it, you want to dip the pumpkin in a solution of water and bleach, killing the mold and mildew that might grow.
The microbes are dead.
Whoa.
Dead microbes.
Ooh, zombie microbes. And then don't do that if you're going to eat it, by the way. All right, so that is step one. Number two is to go ahead and lubricate your pumpkin. And this will keep the hydration from happening. There we go.
Dehydration?
Yeah, use you can use petroleum jelly. That won't freak out the neighbors. Or spray vegetable oil that you have in the WD.
I'm getting more and more uncomfortable with this.
WD-40.
WD-40 works on everything.
It does.
It's entirely possible.
And this is the weird thing. Do you know they actually sell a pumpkin preservative?
All right, now you're just getting all weird. It's supposed to be like sort of like homeopathic or something.
All right.
You can't have a solution. That's cheating.
Lube your pumpkins.
So that's really it? You just dip and lube. That's it?
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Let's just
You know,
get rid of that.
you're like a 6-year-old, right? No, more like a 14-year-old. You know you're like a 14-year-old, right? You kind of are.
All right, cake is too good.
I'm sorry, but if you're going to violate a restraining order, this is like the best reason I have ever heard.
She actually has a trespass order against her, non-trespassing order. And this is a woman in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And she will not stop going to this store. She's possessed. And they keep saying, because I guess she causes a ruckus over by the bakery. And this is
we all do that. Let's not be judgy here.
I know, but she evidently goes in and just kind of goes nuts. And she blames it on the Walmart cakes that they make in the bakery.
So she goes over to the bakery section of Walmart and
Just
completely
starts-
loses her mind.
Just keeps eating them.
And then when the police come to take her away for violating her no trespassing order,
She takes
her
her.
excuse is the cake is too good to stay away.
She's just like frosting covered hands on it.
It's like, cake, I can't quit you. I can't quit you.
She breaks the law for cake.
I'm not sure it would be Walmart but there are certain bakeries in town that I could totally see myself violating a no trespassing order.
Well, you've done that.
Or maybe I would park there and I would make you go in and I would
Right.
prod you until you did it for me.
Right.
But you know, if you don't have anyone available to you to help you with these baked cravings, I can see where they would overcome her. I really don't feel like this is an unreasonable thing.
That fancy one that you're talking about on South Temple. Mm-hmm. What's it called? Backers, Erin, the thing that Erin did that they really hate that is her licking the outside window and clawing at it. So she can't go there anymore.
But I bought enough cakes to put their kids through college. Yeah.
All right.
You're welcome, kids.
All right. There's a secret about men.
Yes.
So really?
There is a secret about men, male secret.
Are we going to find out next?
Oh, there's many of them, but this one's especially good.
Next.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink & McGregor. Did you know that you can qualify for a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600? Just go to fink-mcgregor.com for more information. It's mortgages made simple. Also by The Vein Clinic. There's several excellent varicose vein removal procedures, but you need to find the right one for you. You can do that by scheduling an appointment at theveinclinic.com. And also by Black Diamond Heating, Electric, Plumbing, and Air. Black Diamond Experts, they also have a brand new office open in Ogden. You'll be glad you called an expert. blackdiamondexpert.com.
Utah Credit Approval is now Utah's Better Business Bureau #1 rated subprime company. That's why they approve more people than anyone, with better vehicles and lower interest rates, even 0 down payment. Just listen to one of their satisfied customers.
We recently went through a bankruptcy process looking to purchase new vehicles. We found Utah Credit Approval, went there, they treated us amazingly. If you don't want to go to another dealership and deal with all the BS in the sales manager office, go to these Please, guys, you will not be sorry.
Utah Credit Approval, Gephardt approved, and Utah's Better Business Bureau #1 rated subprime company. Apply today and drive away. It takes 5 minutes or less to get approved. Plus, they'll throw in a $500 cash card with your new car. Visit utahcreditapproval.com or call 801-921-9819. That's 801-921-9819. Go to utahcreditapproval.com now.
All right,
I still think that's poison ivy.
So you say that you have a secret about men.
Well, I actually didn't. This is actually off Twitter, and it's interesting. Everyone remembers Julian Assange, right? He's the guy who had WikiLeaks, and he exposed all of this
Where is he now?
U.S. military stuff. He's over in England.
Hiding.
And apparently hiding, and he's okay. He is there and doing fine, and apparently on Twitter, because they were doing a big discussion about these predatory people like Weinstein in Hollywood, and like J.J. Abrams, and there's a new one of this hideous director I've never heard of. He sounds vile.
Right.
But he said, women, I will let you in on a male secret. Men know that constantly self-proclaiming male feminists, like J.J. Abrams, are often predatory sleazebags. They're, it's not J.J. Abrams. I'm so sorry to say that. It's the other guy, Joss Whedon. They're intensely disliked by other men because of their manipulative qualities, and not in general, they are viewed to be sex traders. So he was trying to sort of stand up and say, guys who act like this really are sleazebags, and we know it too. So, but it sparked this whole thing of other male secrets, because I guess people thought his phrasing was funny. Right. And so there's different ones like, I will let you in on a male secret. When you ask us what's on our mind and we say nothing, we really mean nothing. Another,
this is men shaming.
Women, I will let you on a male secret. No, these are guys. We can aim. It's laziness, or maybe we're just staring at the sink or something, but it's situational. I thought they were funny.
That's because you're a woman.
Okay, I thought it was funny. Women, I will let you in on a male secret. When we go down the stairs behind the sofa, we're actually just hiding behind the sofa. You know, when you do the stair thing.
Right.
They're not really going downstairs.
They're
just hiding behind the sofa.
And this only goes for people in a relationship, but when you're talking about something serious, I'm not looking at your eyes all the time. Just a saying. There you go. No, but I watch your mouth. It's talking. I got it. Hear it. It just absorbs into the brain. All right, Daisy's coming up with some national news.
All right, Gephardt Daily Newsroom, and she is, of course, brought to you by Fink and McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you're going to find an amazing array of mortgage options, and you can get one with a credit score as low as 600. Also by the Vein Clinic. If you go to theveinclinic.com, you can order your appraisal, because if you go in there and do an evaluation, there's a myriad of different things that you can do to fix your legs with the varicose veins and the spider veins, but you will not know until you actually make your appointment. And also by Black Diamond Experts. They are experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. They also have a brand new Ogden place, so that they're even closer to you in Weber County. It is blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, my darling, what is going on today?
Good morning, Todd and Erin. Hello again, everyone. Here's a look at national and world news for Monday, October 23rd on GephartDaily.com. Dramatic testimony is expected Monday at a court in Fort Bragg as Sergeant Bo Bergdahl learns his punishment for endangering fellow soldiers by deserting his post in Afghanistan in 2009. 31-year-old Bergdahl faces a life sentence after admitting guilt last week to desertion and misbehavior. The Army judge will take into consideration Bergdahl's admission of guilt, his 5 years of captivity under the Taliban, as well as the serious injuries caused to several service members who went looking for him. Donald Trump says he will allow the release of the last remaining classified documents surrounding the 1963 assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Former President George H.W. Bush signed a law in 1992 ordering classified records relating to the assassination be released by 2017. Trump said Saturday he would approve the release of the top secret documents, subject to the receipt of further information. The archive said 1% of roughly 5 million pages of assassination-related documents are still undisclosed, while another 11% of the released documents have had sensitive portions redacted. And US pop star Justin Timberlake confirmed via Twitter Sunday that he will perform at this winter's Super Bowl halftime show. "I do have the time, half the time," Timberlake tweeted. Timberlake was first rumored last month to have been in talks to provide the big game's musical entertainment, but his participation was not officially announced until this weekend. The Super Bowl 52 halftime show will take place at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, February 4th. That's it for now. For more headlines from across the country and around the world, go to GephartDaily.com. And for now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right, I got to tell you about Brio. Brio is technologies. They are incredible people. By the way, if you're doing a presentation, and you know if there's a visual behind it, if there's a large boards on either side that are huge lit up and they're close-ups of you talking to your people, these are the people who can do it. They've done concerts. He's been on tour. He's going on tour with David Archuleta doing sound for him. The piano guys. He was on the road for them on and off for like 5 years. He does all these big companies that are doing these big presentations, and they are the people you want, from microphones to projecting to large digital screens. Everything you need, the lighting, making it special, all this special stuff is waiting for you at Brio Electronics and Technologies. So if you have any information that you need, just go to brioaudiovisual.com.
Oh, before we go on, I have to say happy birthday to Ryan Reynolds, the actor, the A-list actor of awesomeness, because he just put up a post on Twitter where he said, "My kids are trying to surprise me for my birthday, but I totally heard them coming, so I snuck out the back door to start a new life somewhere else." He is so horrible.
He's funny.
I really do love him. Deadpool was totally him.
Oh my
It was,
gosh.
it was meant for him. I'm sorry. Okay, moving on to...
Right. This is really?
One of those obvious things.
Story thing.
Okay.
And that's about teens. Now, we've heard talk about starting high school later.
Zacky's high school starts later. They start at 9:30 on Mondays, at least to try to get them a shot at getting back into some kind of a order of schedule, but after the madness of the weekend. But
Things with less sleep, what happens to you?
Oh,
you're
you're
in
more
high
distracted, you're short-tempered, you have a harder time concentrating, you have a harder time retaining information.
So you must be tired all the time. Pretty much. So they want to make the teens, they want to figure out why the teens are not sleeping. Here comes the big duh moment. Why do you think that is? What do they have in their little hand?
What would be different with this generation of teens,
We like to call
than when we were teens?
The iGen generation. I as in iPhone, as in smartphone. The scientists have
The
come
phone
up.
may be smart, but apparently none of us are.
Because they're on their phones, they get less sleep. And this person probably has a PhD. This is killing me.
I wonder how much it costs for them to run that study.
I don't know.
Wow.
In 2012 and 2015, the main reason for not sleeping was your smartphone. Really?
Okay, well now we know. That's good.
That's ridiculous.
That's exciting.
Are you going to tell me something?
Okay, coming up next, we've got the most popular fast food restaurants by state.
Oh,
And
really?
Utah's will actually surprise you because we completely bust out of the mold for most of the other states.
Really?
Yeah, coming up next. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Go to fink-mcgregor.com for mortgages made simple. Because they're a broker, they have a number of different options they can offer you. Just go through a 4-minute questionnaire and someone will call you back by the next business day and get you on your way. It's fink-mcgregor.com. Also by Utah Credit Approval. Utah Credit Approval knows that there's sometimes the bad things happen to good people and that credit may be hard to repair. But you can apply today and drive away today with Utah Credit Approval. Just call 801-404-7201. And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Go to allutahplumbing.com to schedule a check to make sure that you're ready for winter. And don't forget, they have 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com.
Hey there, welcome back to the Todd and Erin Morning Stream at GephartDaily.com. So we've been going out and finding some places, but you on your walks have been finding some spooky places.
Well, there's a lot of places along the Wasatch Front that have creepy pioneer lore, or there's like half burnt out shells, and you wonder what happened there.
Are pioneers creepy? Sometimes.
Sometimes they are. Well, I found this when I was hiking the foothills, and I found it like 3 years ago, and I keep going back there because I'm so drawn to it because it's just so
What?
ooky. It's spooky, ooky, sort of like weird, and you get these crazy vibes coming off of it.
Huh.
So I dragged you up there along with our children because why not endanger them? So, and this is where it went.
All right, so basically what we're doing is we're walking up. This is like what, a quarter mile from the street, and we're walking up. And I got to tell
No
you,
one knows it. I don't
Erin
know.
didn't tell me what it was, but walking up the path that we're heading, and you're going to see the fact that this is a
look how white
tailings
that is.
from a mine, and this is actually limestone.
Sliding down.
And so we're coming up over the edge, and here it is, sitting in clear view of downtown Salt Lake City, and it's a kiln, like for pottery, 4 stages, 4 ovens.
Isn't that epic?
And it is so incredible. And basically what they did is because the lake shoreline used to be up pretty high, they have all these quarries for limestone. And so here's the process. I want you to look inside. So each one you build a fire in. Not a huge fire. That's the interesting part. But this is in the early 1900s, and basically before Portland cement was invented, and all they had was plaster. Well, what do they make plaster out of? Limestone. How do they make limestone, right? They start small fires back in there in the back, and then in those big tubes you're going to see, they're not chimneys. You put a layer of wood, then you put a layer of limestone rock, and then you put a layer of coal, and then you put more limestone,
Blah,
and
blah,
you keep...
blah, 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 blah. Look, the important thing
This
is
is science.
The important thing is this. We now know where there's an inexhaustible supply of lime, and we know where you would totally hide a body.
Why is that?
Because once you sprinkle the lime, no one ever smells the body. Ever.
Why does that make me feel so
So
uncomfortable?
see, ooh, and look at, there's even a handy chasm to throw it in.
So
I don't know if you can get better than this.
So travelers would actually go up and this would take 3 or 4 days, and they go up and sleep along the edge. Unfortunately, CO2 is formed in the process, and some fell into the fire, hence spooky.
Yeah,
Are you
that was
happy?
extra spooky.
But look how close this is. This is what kills me. And there's several of these up in viaducts and stuff like that. They're up in the up in the mountains.
The spooky viaduct.
It is. Oh, aquifer.
It's
I'm
the
sorry.
haunted
I'm sorry.
viaduct. Ooh.
You little.
Coming up tomorrow on Spookiest Spots Along the Wasatch Front, there is a
I thought it was
gigantic,
interesting.
terrifying sculpture that will scare the living crap out of you, and it was a gift for children.
After
That's
the
tomorrow.
limestone is heated, it turns into a hard rock, and then when you crush
Blah,
it,
blah, 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 blah. Let's talk about fast food.
Wait, it turns into plaster and mortar. All right, go ahead. Hater of history.
Now, I don't know why I'm so obsessed with nationwide studies, because I'm a simpleton and I always like to know where I stand next to everybody else. But they actually did one interesting. Foursquare wanted to know the most popular fast food chain by state. Because,
Okay.
like, you're figuring down south, it might be Popeye's Chicken.
Yeah.
You know, it's stuff like that. So, Alaska, ironically, was McDonald's. Nothing really.
That's not exciting at all.
Hawaii. Now, Hawaii, you're thinking they've got to have some sort of, like,
Spam.
awesome one, right? No, it's Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. And you're like, what? Really? I don't. It's like that's the one place where it's like so unique and exotic. You would think that they would totally, but no.
Maybe it's the farthest thing away is Louisiana from Hawaii,
Okay.
and they miss it. No.
All right, it could be. All right, so nationwide, hands down, it was literally like 40 out of 50, which was Chick-fil-A.
Now they actually
Chick-fil-A.
took over
Yeah.
the lead.
Yeah, and they're not even open on Sundays, and they're still ahead of everybody else.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing? But Utah, we did actually kind of stand out a little bit.
Oh, really? Something
Our
different.
favorite is In-N-Out Burger.
I've never eaten an In-N-Out burger.
It's delicious.
Is it?
When you go there, you ask for your fries the animal style, and they put cheese and sauce all over them. It's delicious.
Is that like poutine from Canada?
Mildly so, yes.
Really? I should go there.
It really, and everybody who works there is unnaturally cheerful and happy all the time.
Well,
And you know it's not even faked. They're just like that.
Do you know they actually get like profit sharing and stuff?
I would be happy
got
too
fo-
if I got profit sharing from In-N-Out Burger.
They got
Seriously.
401ks and everything for working at In-N-Out Burger.
Well, no wonder they're so happy. That's wonderful, right?
When that opened, there was a quarter-mile line to
First
get
one
in
here in Utah.
because
Yeah.
everybody knew it from out of state. So there you go.
Interesting. So
Today's
anyway,
show
yeah,
being brought to you by In-N-Out Burger.
apparently so.
Why
It's a
don't
nice
we have?
change from our KFC obsession, so that's good.
They did it again over the weekend to me.
You did it.
Erin's working on the computer. I said, you know what? I'll take the kids. I'll take the kids out. We'll go out and get a quick dinner, like Noodles and Company or something. And then Zoe comes in, 6-year-old, and goes, hey, why don't we go to KFC? And I've been trying to avoid it because I'm growing a beach ball in my stomach. And we ended up going.
It's the 11 herbs and spices, honey.
I can't stop now. I hadn't eaten chicken. We've talked about this. I didn't eat Kentucky Fried Chicken for 20 years.
Oh, yeah, I can't even picture the last time before our recent obsession began.
And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, you know what we should do? And now I'm hooked. Like once a week.
There we are. Maybe we can break the streak with In-N-Out Burger.
I even buy the big meal and it's all gone. It's like 16 pieces. And the 6-year-old just
Well, we do have a
plows.
teenager who eats like a... No, but
Our 6-year-old eats like a...
she does eat like a longshoreman when it comes to that, is it? Well, let's try In-N-Out Burger. Maybe we can break your streak.
All right.
And you'll be better.
It won't replace Kentucky Fried Chicken.
All right, maybe we should move on then. This is actually really a shock to me. I love Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I've loved her since Saturday Night Live.
heard about this.
I love her on Veep. It's constantly winning awards. If you haven't seen it, she is the Vice President of the United States. She posted an Instagram Thursday that said, and she had this kind of feisty sort of like pose going on, and she said, I've got breast cancer. And she said, I'm getting chemotherapy, and it's really intense, and it's a lot. I absolutely love this. So the well wishes started pouring in, and she was really brave about it, but she wanted to wait until she had won. They'd gone through the Emmy Awards and everything, so it didn't impact anything. She did win her 6th straight Emmy for Veep. Can you show this picture again? But the picture I love most of all of the messages everyone sent, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And he said, we Veep stick together. Jill and I and all of the Bidens are with you, Julia.
Oh my gosh,
and
that's so cool.
And they're like strutting down the hall of the White House, both of them in their Ray-Bans. That is the best picture ever. So anyway, Julia,
That is cool.
many warm wishes, and this is the most important month to remember to get your mammograms. And if our nagging hasn't been enough, I hope that maybe Julia Louis-Dreyfus and her experience will help you to remember that I don't care how much or little time you have to get a mammogram.
Yep.
And if you need a list of free and low-cost places to go because you don't have insurance, you can always hit me up on Facebook, and I've got the list ready for you. So please.
Yeah.
And if you don't, I'm going to send my mother after you. And if you see the angry face of Mary Helen, you're so screwed.
We had to have...
It's my last resort.
Yeah. So I had to bug her forever. So
I know you sick my mother on me.
that's how important it is. Because you leave me alone with those kids. They'll dance on your grave.
Todd and I decided a long time ago, even before we had the twins, that we would never get divorced because our true secret fear is that the judge would award sole custody to one of us. And it's never going to happen. It's us against them every day.
Because it's not like in those Disney films where they split the kids up and they go their separate ways.
And then they meet up at summer camp.
It's not like that at all.
They're there all the time.
All right, so we found out about this guy. First of all, thanks for watching Todd and Erin Morning Stream.
Thank you.
And
your patience.
Jay Mendoza puts out a bunch of videos. And he's just, you got to check him out and look him up.
He's weird. I like him.
Spanish word of the day. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You guys have a great day. We'll see you later. Here it is.
Spanish word of the day. Jewish. Don't you wish your boyfriend was hot like me? Ha-hey! Don't you wish your boyfriend had money like me? Don't you? Jewish.
Don't you wish your boyfriend was a paisa like me? Don't you wish your boyfriend could dance like me?
Don't you?
Jewish.